we need to understand how this system works. And that is why I want us to use the example of bread. The way you look at the cost principle in the sale of bread, it's the same thing as electricity. A loaf of bread comes with a cost. There's a cost of production to it. So let's say, for instance, if a loaf of bread that is supposed to be sold for 50 naira is now being sold for 30 naira due to government intervention, that is, the cost of getting the bread to the distributor is 50 naira, but the government says no, you should be selling at 30 naira. That means there's a 20 naira gap. If that gap is not addressed, what will happen with time is that there will be a pile-up of shortfall, like the 1.3 trillion naira that we have in the power sector. So, as time goes on, the bread seller will not be able to sell bread. The bread seller will not be able to sustain that business because you cannot be buying bread from the baker at 50 naira and you are selling it at 30 naira. It is the same thing with the sector and with the disco as we have now. So when the minister challenges the discos on performance improvement, we believe that he has every right to do that. However, without positioning the disco to succeed by addressing the tariff gap, which the government has mandated and engineered, without doing that, then it will be very unfair to expect miracles from the discos. And we have said it before, that if you bring angels or malaika from heaven to this industry today, that angel will fail. That malaika will be frustrated and will fail because you cannot be dealing with a product where the buying price is far higher than the selling price. And that's the issue. So we are not, as I said earlier, we are not advocating a tariff increase on the consumers because we know that some of our customers are already dealing with affordability issues. So we know that if today there's going to be a 24-hour electricity for someone with a 2-bedroom flat with basic things, fan, iron, television, fridge, freezer, the average cost may be about 11,000 on average. If that is the case, not all of them may be able to afford it, so we understand that issue. That is why it is the duty of the federal government of Nigeria to look at the issue of the shortfall and do something about it. Now, the Honorable Minister also made reference to the debt owed by the discos to the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trader, NBET. Oh yes, discos owe NBET. It is the same tariff gap that we're talking about that is solely responsible for this debt. And that debt continues to grow. Like I told you, if I'm buying something, if I'm buying a product at 50 naira, and I'm only allowed to sell it at 30 naira, even when I collect, if I'm able to collect the whole of 30 naira from those who buy from me, I cannot pay back 50 naira to the person that sold the product to me because I'm underselling the product. That is the principle. That's the way we need to look at it and understand the fundamentals. Now, what we now see with the government, with the Federal Ministry of Power, is the funding that is inclusive of $350 million from the World Bank that they are now making available to the Rural Electrification Agency to implement projects that, from our perspective, do not make sense. Most of the projects and the costing of those projects that have been undertaken today by a Rural Electrification Agency does not make sense at all. And I'll give you a few examples. In Warri, where we have a lot of cheap gas, in Efu, Warri, you are doing solar power project. in Ile-Ife, Osun State, where there's no access to gas, you are doing gas-powered electricity in Ile-Ife. In Ile-Ife, where there is a lot of solar power. These are the kind of things that we're talking about. It appears that some people are more interested in awarding contracts than in putting the nation first and doing what is best for Nigerians to have electricity in their home. Well, unfortunately, these projects or these contracts tend to be comparatively procured at exorbitant prices. And that is why it raises the question as to whether the taxpayers are getting value for their money. And it appears that the Rural Electrification Agency has strayed completely away from its mandate of providing electricity to the 65% of rural dwelling Nigerians that have no electricity. I'm sure you all understand the mandate of REA, which is to provide rural electrification. And when you veer off that and you go to Shomolu, Bariga in Lagos, within the city, or you go to Sabongeri within the city of Kano, or you go to Benin City, neglecting those 65%, we think that is not good enough for the country. Additionally, the Federal Ministry of Power announced that they put 78 billion naira in the budget for distribution projects. And the distribution project, according to them, is to be carried out by TCN. Remember, Transmission Company of Nigeria is that second layer of the value chain, owned 100% by the federal government, but also a stakeholder like us. So both the generation company, transmission company, and distribution company, we are all stakeholders, each of us within the value chain. Now imagine one of us, which is the one owned by the government, being given the contract to do contract for one of us. What I mean is this: TCN is to implement 78 billion naira distribution project for the DisCos. And why would TCN be implementing contracts for a largely privatized subsector, utilizing taxpayer funds? These are questions we need to ask. And our perspective on this issue is that there seems to be more of an interest from the Ministry of Power in awarding contracts than making the DisCos whole. So we believe that these contracts are misguided, the way they are being awarded by the ministry and its agencies of TCN and Rural Electrification Agency. It is almost enough to conclude that the DisCos are being deliberately held down for the award of these overpriced contracts. You will recall 2 weeks ago in one of our advertisements, we listed in full the cost of those contracts from one location to the other that show the disparity in the award costs. When you're doing exactly the same thing, just in two different locations within the same country, and the costs are so humongous that if you go and check what it costs elsewhere, you will see that this is a very overpriced, overbloated contract being awarded by the Federal Ministry of Power.